This is in continuation to my earlier videos where I have tried to show you how to deal with cryptography in DataPower. So in my earlier videos, we discussed about cryptography, public key, private key, theoretically, as well as have seen how to generate keys on DataPower. We have also seen a demo where without writing even a single line of code, we were able to encrypt and decrypt the XML efficiently. In this video, I'm going to talk about creation of digital signature. Digital signature is vital in order to provide the proof of message integrity, and digital signatures are used everywhere in B2B scenarios or otherwise as well. So it is important that we understand how can we use DataPower to generate digital signatures. This will again, there will be two approaches. One, if you don't want to write a single line of code, yes, today's video is for you. You can see how I create a digital signature as well as verify it. Second, you want to write a code or you want to do it in gateway scripting or for that matter XSLT programming, then I'm going to create a video for that too. In this, we will focus purely on the configurational approach of dealing with digital signatures. To deal with that, I have created a multi-protocol gateway, and I have utilized this to showcase the encryption-decryption. I'm using the same multi-protocol gateway and same processing policy in order to demonstrate how to deal with the digital signature part. So this is cryptographic demo policy, which we will try to open in a new tab. So let's create a new tab. We'll try to open the policy. So this is my policy. Now you can see that I'm starting bare bone. I have two rules which I earlier used to showcase encryption and decryption. These two rules, sign rule and verify rule, I have created to show you how to create a digital signature and how to verify it. So this sign rule will help us create the digital signature, and this verify rule will help us verify it. The sign rule is characterized by this match expression which says /sign, and this verify rule says verify. So sign and verify rules we have, and you can see that sign rule is pretty bare bone, a match action and nothing else. So first, let's make this rule in such a way that it doesn't to the backend, rather it works in a loop back manner. Very simple. Click on advanced, go to set variable, and here you say skip backside. So by setting the skip backside, you're telling MPGW not to go to the backend. That's what the name is, skip backside. Same I will do for verify rule. Remember, what I am doing here, which is skipping the backside, is not at all related to digital signature. But if I don't do this, then I will not be able to do the demo of this. And I do not have a backend to go here, so my call will fail. Okay, so both of the rules are skipping the backside. Good. Now let's go to the sign rule. What do I do? What do I need for a digital signature? Say you are an organization and you are generating the digital signature. All that you need is your private key. If you have a public key as well, good. But all that you need is your private key, because this private key is the core component using which DataPower will generate a signature. And this has to be your private key. Your means the sender's private key. Drag and drop here, sign. Double click to open it. Standard in, keep these things as they are. The standard works just fine. And here we are going to provide, so this key and certificate. What are these keys and certificate? Assuming you are in the role of a sender, this is your certificate and your private key. I have a certificate and private key loaded on DataPower. If you don't know how to create a certificate and a private key in DataPower, watch my earlier video where I have shown how to use crypto tools to do that. In a practical scenario, either you will use the crypto tools or you are going to get these keys and certificates from your certificate procurement team in your company. So whatever the case may be, you need a certificate and a key file, and that's what I have specified here. Please note that I haven't specified anything else, just certificate and key, and click on done. Sign piece is complete. You can click on the apply button. Okay, you can click on the save configuration if you wish, and sign piece is complete. Once this is complete, let's test it. To test it, I go back to a tool, Postman. I'll create new HTTP request. Here, I'm going to use post method and I will type in the URL HTTP. Okay, in the body part, I'll say raw, what XML, and I have a sample XML over here. So this is a sample XML, and I'm going to send this to DataPower for a digital signature. Remember, digital signature doesn't deal with the message privacy. So its job is not to encrypt any information over here. The job of the digital signature is to use this payload and create a digital signature in such a way that if you tamper with the payload, the digital signature verification will fail or should fail and tell the recipient that the message has been tampered in some way. Okay, so that is the whole purpose of the digital signature. Now let's send this. Good. So we get something back. We are getting HTTP 200 OK. And we see that inside the SOAP header, we have WSSE security section, which contains good amount of data. And you see that under the SOAP body, nothing is changed. It is as is. Now this SOAP header is populated because while you were configuring it, the default said envelope method is WS security, which means use WS security standard to put the digital signature related information in SOAP header. That is what this envelope method does. Okay, so we have created the digital signature. Good. Now it is time to do one positive testing and one negative testing. Positive testing means we'll not modify this payload, we'll send it as is. In fact, I should say raw, because if I copy this pretty print, it will have additional spaces which will change the payload. So I should say raw, and I'll copy it, and then I will send it for digital signature verification to see whether the verification works fine or not. That is one positive scenario. It should work. The negative scenario is that we end up changing something in here, like maybe customer ID, we change it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to something else, and we see whether the digital verification fails or not. So these two scenarios we're gonna see. So to do that, let's click on new HTTP request. And here I'll say post, and in place of sign we will say verify, and in body under raw I'm going to specify this entire payload. Remember that the view I am in is raw view, not pretty view. Okay, so here it is. Now what will happen if I send it now? Well, if you go back to DataPower, you see that under verify rule, we have nothing, just a skip backside. So we are going to get the echo back, which means whatever you have here will be echoed back in the response. Well, that is not something that we are trying to find out. So let's first change this verify rule. How to verify a digital signature? Drag and drop verify, double click to open it, and inside it leave everything as is, and here you have to supply the validation credential. Well, what is a validation credential? Validation credential is an object that encapsulates the certificates that you trust on DataPower. And here you need to configure the certificate of the sender. So assuming you are in a B2B scenario and you are somebody who is a receiver of a message which is digitally signed, then here you are going to configure the certificate of the sender, not your public certificate. No, certificate of the sender, and only certificate, because nobody will give you their private key. So let's click on it and say sender ABC, or maybe you can say valcred01, and here add the certificate. Click on apply, click on done, and click on apply policy. Now let's send this. Okay, so I get 200. Okay, but how do I know whether the digital signature verification has been okay or not, whether it failed or not? To do that, let's modify it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Modification done. Let's send it. See, this is how it would look like if the verification fails. You can see HTTP request code as well. So this is how it looks like when the digital signature verification fails. Digital signature is getting verified at the DataPower, and we are able to see both positive and negative use case where we sent the digital signature, digitally signed message as is, versus we send a modified sign. Here, a very crucial fact, again, I would like to iterate. You have to be in the raw mode. If you get this from pretty mode and if you try to send it here, most likely than not, your digital signature verification will fail. Why? Because this pretty view introduces additional spaces in this message. And those spaces are also considered some kind of modification. All right. So the signature verification fails for obvious reasons. So that's as simple as creating and verifying the digital signature in DataPower. The bottom line is that we are able to create and verify the digital signature without writing even a single line of code. This is the real power of the DataPower appliance. Of course, there is a programmatic and more complicated way of doing it, achieving the same thing, but I'll leave it for the next video. That's it for today.